Man, I'm on the fucking.
And welcome back to episode 158 of the Hit the Showers podcast, presented to you by the Foolproof Entertainment Network. As always, I'm your host, Clifford Jordan Jennings, here with my point man and co-host, Malcolm Red Shirt That Man King. He on injured reserve.
What's going on?
Nah, shit, we got my guy Q in the building. What's happening with you?
What's up? What's up?
You know, just another one. We back on a Saturday. Just waking up. Not for the day, but, you know, motherfuckers old. Gotta take naps and shit.
Power nap, baby.
You know? But we here to talk basketball. Well, not just, but, you know, that's the focus. We gotta catch that motherfucker up. It's been going on for a while.
Right.
Damn, where do we want to start? I would like to say that I think it's interesting that Boston is currently leading the East with 21-5, a 21-5 record, and they got that new coach, and they acting like the new coach is like the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, they had already built on that. So you stepping into a situation that was already good. There was no renovation needed in that situation. And it's only been, 20-something games? 26 games for them?
I mean, you're talking about the only team that has been healthy so far on this beginning of the season. All your core pieces, Jason Tatum, 25 games out of 26. Jaylen Brown, 24. Brogdon, 21. Marcus Smart, 23. Derek White, 26. Al Horford, 20. You know what I mean?
Al Horford putting up 20, you know they good.
No, I mean, I'm talking about actual games played.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Putting up 20 games already?
Yeah.
You know they healthy.
Yeah, pretty healthy team early on in the season where you got, you know, just for example, Jimmy Butler, 16 games only. You know what I mean? Giannis been in and out. Middleton just came back maybe 2 games ago.
Is that sick? Did y'all only? I thought he only played 16.
He's only been in 16 contests this year so far.
Okay.
Only consistent ones have been Bam Adebayo, Kyle Lowry, and Caleb Martin, and that's it. Heroes missed a lot of time.
But he's still third on y'all's points, on leading points.
I mean, you know, your average goes by, you know.
Well, yeah, average, right? But
played,
total points, last I saw, Bam was leading, then Kyle Lowry, then Tyler Hero.
What? Tyler scores when he plays, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
He puts a point, you know, coming in. He's actually been more in a starter role. So minus a Jimmy, you got to get your point production out of him.
And they said, what'd you say?
I was just going to say, you got a guy like Duncan Robinson. He's low numbers, haven't been doing anything. Oladipo literally just came back maybe 2 games ago as well. So Hero carrying a big load with the points early on in the season.
Oladipo is the Odell Beckham Jr. of the NBA. Like that, he's just a name at this point. Like,
the Wizards did try to get him. The Wizards offered him and pulled their offer.
Y'all should have let him go. I would have let him go. Like, don't get me wrong, I would love to have Oladipo, but only if I can have Oladipo. Like, I'm not gonna have him on the sideline as a cheerleader.
Well, you got to think, the past couple of years when he came on a few games before the playoffs started. So if he's in at this point, I'm pretty confident about where he's going.
You just gotta sit him until then.
No. You need to play, buddy. I need you a big part of the rotation. I don't need you trying to come in and Eric throwing plays on the fly with you.
Right.
Yeah, get in with the chemistry.
They say, get your feet wet, young man.
Yes, sir.
Say Jimmy currently averaging 21.3 points off of 51.4% shooting, 38.9% from 3. 7 rebounds, 6.1 assists, and 1.8 steals in 16 games played. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is correct.
But to get back to your point, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown averaging 56, 57 points a game.
Yeah, that's it right there. That's it right there.
Coming out hot. They know how to play. They don't need no coach.
Right.
Oh, wait.
Udoka did it. He planted that last year.
I agree.
He planted that, man. He taught them how to roll together.
He's good. Now he's not fuck a member of management and get away with it good, but he's pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
And think about this. Who would have thought Marcus Smart 7.5 assists a game?
Right. They moved him to the true point. Who would have thought Marcus Smart would be
Brogdon?
Who would have thought that Marcus Smart would be really thriving at the one right now?
Yeah, man. They're dangerous.
You asked me that a year ago. Even though they made it to the playoffs, I'm still like, nah, Marcus Smart ain't gonna be able to do it for you at point.
Well, what I would say is, though, don't let this be the history of Boston.
What you mean? Say more.
Because in recent memory, early on, they haven't dwelled pretty well in the season. They always, leading up to the All-Star break, and they'll have these tremendous records, only 5, 6, single-digit losses heading into the playoffs after the All-Star break. Like last year, they were terrible. They were under quite a few games under 500.
Before the All-Star.
Leading into the Christmas games, coming around in January. Right. Toward the end of January, they started trending up. And that's when they went on their big run, and the rest is history, really. So I'm just hoping Boston don't get too hyped like the Cowboys. And,
Yeah, right. I mean...
He said high hopes every year, big letdown.
I mean, they can't be shooting for the Warriors record because they already too high on that with that 5.
Yeah. It's possible.
I mean, it's possible, but you still got a lot of season left.
Yeah, they would have to go on one of those record-breaking win streaks. Oh, plus 30 games.
Right. You got damn near, you got a little less than 75% left of the season.
Yeah.
And you already got 5. I don't know if I see that. But, I mean, if it was a team to do it, why not be this Boston team?
True. Either them or Milwaukee.
I don't see him doing it, though.
Even Milwaukee with 6 losses.
I definitely don't see Milwaukee doing it.
Hey, we saw them start off the season real hot. It took them quite a few games, almost double-digit games into the season before they got their first one. So,
I see Cleveland's number 3 in the East behind Milwaukee and Boston.
Yeah, 16 and 10. They ain't been playing well last couple games though.
No, they
I won't say ain't been that. So it all started probably about 5-6 games ago. And I feel like now they're in that point of trying to claw their way out of it. And they're getting wins by doing so, but they're not looking as good as they did when they started the season.
Well, at least they're not 10 and 15.
And I mean, but I know you say that, your Lakers, but I will say that they are one of those teams that have already been struggling with injuries out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kevin Love's in and out. Jared Allen's in and out. We lost Mobley for like 3 games.
Donovan's missed a few. Some were to rest, but some were nagging injuries.
Donovan didn't play last night against Sacramento.
Well, that's a gimme game. I mean, I would have.
Sacramento is 5th in the West right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see that. Wow. But to UNQ's previous points, the West isn't that good. So what's that?
I wouldn't say they're not that
Record-wise.
good. I would just say they're not as good as the East.
No, not top heavy. Not top heavy.
Yeah, we lost that game, 106-95.
I don't think Donovan played last night.
Yeah, that's what I said. He ain't play against the Kings.
Okay. Maybe he'll play tonight against OKC. We'll see.
But it looks like, well, I'll put it like this. If the injuries are consistent like this throughout the season, I do see us falling closer to the middle of the pack and then scraping back up towards the end of the year. Because it doesn't seem like we can keep every player, we can get every, player we plan to have on the court on there at any night.
And that's pretty true, because in the East you have Indiana 5th. You got, I'm not hating on New York, but you got New York 8, Miami 10, Bulls at
12.
12, and Charlotte at 13. And then you still can't sleep on Detroit if they get to the play-in spot.
Right.
At the 10 spot. So early on, Miami will push them out. New York will probably climb. Bulls definitely will climb. They have a good 10, 15 game win streak running them.
Right.
So the East is the only team that I see still being in the top. Boston, Milwaukee, Cleveland, your current 1 through 3. Philly at 6. They might move to the middle of the pack. Harden just getting back in as well.
Right. Right.
So, yeah. We'll see what happens.
But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, fingers and toes, I'm hoping that they're oversitting these players.
I think that's what it is.
I'm hoping that's the case.
I think that's what it is, man.
Like, I'm hoping it's not as serious as it seems to be, and I'm hoping it's just like, nah, cool out for a second.
I tell you, Miami is. You got a guy like Hayward, Highsmith, Drew Smith, Jamal Cain, playing games early on in the season.
Mm-hmm. But that's also good, though, as well.
It is.
I think it would be a very smart strategy that a lot of teams should adopt, is to have your second string and third string players out on that floor heavy in the beginning of the season.
Yep.
Because they have to catch a rhythm.
We do it every year. Every year.
If your backups can't catch a rhythm, you're not staying in a game.
82 games is a lot, and you got to think some games is back-to-back, like 2 nights in a row. That's...
Look at your past few years in the playoffs, man. You always get that one important player on the team that kind of gets hurt.
That bench player, that Derek White for last year in Boston. You could throw Grant Williams in there, but he slowed down a bit in the playoffs, but he was hot leading up to.
Mm-hmm.
It's always somebody off your bench that's going to step up and do that for you. But if you don't give them a shot to do so, they're not going to be in rhythm when that time comes. And I tell you what, for Cleveland, that guy is Kevin Love, that come off the bench, give us a boost guy. But we know historically he's not available the entire season.
Right.
Historically.
He's going to be... Well, his is not even always the injury. We know that his contributes to lots of mental health.
Oh, right. Yeah, and I'm not saying that, he's not somebody of value, but if you can't count on a motherfucker, who's next in line? I don't care if you're not as good as Kevin. You're up, kid. Give Evan Mobley's older brother a shot. He plays the 3, the 3-4, same as Kevin.
Or you can call Richard Jefferson back.
That nigga ain't doing shit.
I fuck with him though. I don't know what it is.
He probably would still be just as effective now as he was then.
He bring leadership. He's gonna bring that leadership,
right? Because all he was really good for offensively was the three.
Mm-hmm. And he played a little defense.
Defense, but even still, he'll get you in place.
Right.
You know, get over, scoot over, get over there. Right.
Yeah.
But but nah, you got some young bucks on that squad, that Cleveland squad right now. That
Rubio back on the Cavaliers again. You said?
Yeah, he is, but I don't know if he's up and running like that yet. I think they more so did that because aside from Minnesota, he played the best ball of his career in Cleveland, and you know, in that brief run, the Minnesota fans fell in love with him. So they kind of just brought him back to bring the squad back together. Let's bring the band back together.
Chemistry.
Right, but I don't think we see any Ricky Rubio until the second half of the season. And even if we do see him before then, I don't know if it's the Ricky Rubio that he was before, you know, he left, or he hurt his leg. Did he break it? No,
Let's see.
I can't remember. Wow. I think he, what is it, like an ACL or not an ACL, Achilles?
Got a Kevin Durant over here.
I want to say it's an Achilles situation, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong.
Ricky Rubio tore his ACL in his left knee in December of 2021 in a game against the Pelicans.
Was the ACL?
Injuring the same knee he tore his ACL with back in 2012.
Mm-hmm. It's all right. He'll be all right.
Odell Beckham. That's Odell Beckham.
Ricky Rubio?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I don't know if I agree.
They're expecting him around February of 2023 to come back.
Close to the All-Star break.
Right. So, like I said, about the second half of the season.
How old is Ricky Rubio? Because I feel like he's been in the league for a while now.
I know he's around my age.
And it's not to call.
I think he's like 33, 34.
It's not even to say that y'all are old. Like y'all two, like talking about you and Cliff.
I mean, but it is impressive athletically.
Sports. But yeah, right. I'm saying sports.
On a pro level, it's impressive.
Yeah. He's we're way off. He's 32. He's 2 years older than me.
When you were saying that, the only thing came to my mind was Brittany Griner, because I remember they were around the same time.
Right.
30, and she's 32, I believe. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's a good segue. Shout out Brittany Griner. She is home. She's back.
Hell strong.
That's fucked up though. I mean,
what we gave up for her, yeah,
that's fucked up. And the only reason why it's fucked up to put on her, right? Because she like, damn, like, am I worth all that? Like a motherfucker, like a
right now. Well, I don't know if you guys. It's been making me a little upset. Have you guys seen some of the like posts or memes of some of the comments about her release and stuff?
Yeah,
Q. You know, like. I seen somebody, y'all. There's a country singer, and I promise this is relevant, named Morgan Wallen or Wallen. Cliff, I think we talked about this before. I seen a girl on Facebook post, we'll give you Brittany Griner back if I can just get 2 tickets to the Morgan Wallen concert coming up or whatever for me and my friend. It's just like, you know, you see people just making all these jokes or like, oh, why did y'all let her? But like you said, she didn't ask to be famous for this.
But that's a part of that, though.
Right.
That's part of that.
But that's part of educating yourself as well. Because you had a guy like Michael Parsons, who also tweeted out and deleted and whatever, that, you know, because he has family, military, and so on and so forth, that he was upset that Paul Whelan was still there, not getting the entire story. And then, you know, people got on him. He went and backtracked, educated himself of what it was, being that Russia wasn't willing to deal Paul Whelan at all, based on his charges and what he was there for.
That's crazy.
So that was off the table. So why leave another American behind when you had the opportunity to bring them home. You did all you could.
That's one of those you can take. Yeah, you take what you can get, I guess. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
I think I said it on the Dude Foods Agree podcast. I don't think I said it on here. I guarantee you, she had packed that same bag every time she went to Russia.
Oh yeah.
She had that same shit in that bag every season she went to go ball in Russia. And what it was they saw it, not a big deal. She's an NBA player. And they kept letting her pass, so it wasn't a shocker. And then when they knew war times was coming, that was when that light bulb went off, and they was like, next time she comes through, though.
The hostage moments. Good setup.
They were genius for that. They were genius for that. Because everybody asked, like, how can she have that in her bag? How can you forget? She didn't forget. She knew that was in there. She's been over and back playing in that league many times.
Many times.
She knew that was in there.
Even Becky Hammond said it because she was a perennial superstar for Russia at one point. You know, Becky Hammond. So you know, they made a pawn. I'm not saying this disrespectfully against Brittany Griner, but they made a pawn into a queen. They made a pawn into a queen, and now all the other Americans are once again hating on the president because of the simple fact that he left a decorated Marine behind who's also falsely imprisoned. Or, I mean,
I don't want to take away from the sports podcast, obviously talk, but the only side note thing that I'll say is I guarantee this Paul Whelan person, without even having done my homework, doesn't have as many charges he's being held against, or they're not as lethal as that Victor Bout, whatever his name is, dude.
No, not at all.
I mean, that's all I got to say about that. But
suspicion of being a spy.
Right. Glad Brittany's free, though.
They thought you were spying because you're a former Marine.
They got one over on USA.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta take your hat off to them for that one.
Right.
You gotta take your hat off to them for that one. But at the same time, I feel like, well, Biden, it's time to get them niggas out of jail in here. Time to do that. That law, that better, or that reprieve, or whatever you call it, better be on the way, since you went and did all that to get her back.
Well, if he don't, you know who will. Hey, I will give that woman Kim K. She been freeing some niggas.
I almost said some wild shit. She almost set me up to say some wild shit. That was almost gonna be too wild for me if that would have slipped out my mouth.
Hey, we need the hot takes.
Listen, had it in the chamber.
That's how.
But it ain't enough dicks to free all the niggas in jail for Kim K. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Maybe that's why Biden makes sure like the petty marijuana shit is, getting them cats off, man. You ain't got a result to that. You know what I'm saying?
Listen. I'm just saying, Kim K's negotiation skills, I doubt, are up to par. Man. So I don't know how you doing it, but keep it up. But I'm talking about the president, motherfucker. Shit, him and Kamala did it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? It's time to make good on your mistakes. So if you gonna trade a motherfucking gun-running, international gun-running terrorist back to Russia, who's currently at war as we speak, for a WNBA player, then you better free all the niggas that's in there right now off of marijuana charges.
Man, they getting up.
The fuck? That shit crazy. But back to the sports.
Pelicans leading the West.
Pelicans is leading the West 17-8. 8-2 in their last 10.
They got a squad. I mean, we've been knew that. We've been said that. We've been the moment when they got
McCollum.
Well, that helped solidify. But I was just going to say, like, even when they started building with the Josh Harts at the time and the Brandon Ingram, you bring Zion, like to McCullough, just different people. Like, we knew, like, hey, they doing something in New Orleans. Yeah, they nice. It doesn't surprise me at all.
But that's what I get at when I say the West just isn't as good. It's like you could tell from the previous 2 seasons, it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up to see who gets at the top of the Western Division.
Right.
It's almost like a lottery machine that blows the balls up. Like, we don't know which team is going to pop up there, but because, look, you got the Pelicans at number 1, the Grizzlies at number 2, the Suns at 3, Denver at 4, Sacramento at 5.
Hey, but
Golden State 11, LA 13. Like, first of all, how wild is it that Sacramento is leading California's teams?
Wow.
I bet that whole state's gonna turn purple overnight.
Yeah, they Lakers. They most of them's.
Watch if Sacramento keep balling, they states that you gonna see motherfuckers in other jerseys.
Shit.
But we saw that toward the end of last year after the All-Star break, where Sacramento was playing amazing ball.
Sacramento gonna be who Sacramento is at the end of the day.
True. True.
I actually appreciate Sacramento a little bit more than I do any other team out there, right? Because we talked about it when it comes to tax dollars, they're at the bottom. Like, if trickle-down economics was ever real, it is for the NBA teams. California has all the tax in the world, and I guarantee you it's going to LA Lakers. At this point, it's trickling down to the Warriors because they've passed the Clippers. Then the Clippers get some. Then whatever's left goes to Sacramento.
Right. So that means get more than the Lakers.
They're the baby brothers.
You think the Clippers get more than the Lakers?
Yeah, roster wise, they got the most respect from the LA teams.
But I feel like every one of those players, the only exception being Kawhi, and even Kawhi, I feel like he got one over on him. Every one of them were out of their prime by the time they got him. Everyone. Paul George was not looking good in OKC when they got him to the Clippers. That was the whole point, that he may look better with Kawhi in them.
Because we saw Reggie Jackson as well, who was boosted up in Detroit, and he took
John Wall.
Right, I love John.
Even Kawhi, I think he just mustered up that last season in Toronto just to get a check.
Nah, I think Kawhi is stuck on, I need to be 100% to play. If I'm 80, no, I'm not getting on the court.
We ain't gonna never see that nigga gonna be Joakim Noah.
Right, that's what I was gonna say.
We ain't gonna never see him on the court again.
Right. I think Kawhi just don't give a fuck.
I think he just wanted the check. I think don't get me wrong, I know tendonitis is real, right? I know that shit. I know that factually. I know that's a real issue. But at the same time, you're a pro athlete. This is what you get paid for, nigga. Buy some new knees when you retire. Like, the fuck?
He don't got Cliff and Q. What we say about some people?
Just Brandon, is that your boy on the in the chat?
He ain't got that. It might be. He ain't got that killer in him.
Kawhi? He did at one point though.
No,
just
he
Brandon said definitely.
He had talent, and he knew. Okay, that's like going against Philly when he was in Toronto. When he hit that shot, like he does what guys do on 2K. He sprinted to the fucking corner 3 and pulled it. You know what I mean? He felt like I'm gonna pull this naturally because you're not gonna block my shot.
Right.
I mean, but he's good enough to do so. It's not a lot of players that can even get that off.
But that wasn't hard though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think so.
That's talent. That's recognizing your talent.
I think hard to take it as well.
You knew Embiid was gonna follow you. He can't keep up.
But just Brandon said definitely all players on their way back down from the peak. Not all of them. It's just the ones that are on their way up are. I don't want to say few and far between. I just want to say they all are moving at different paces. You know what I mean? You got your Ja Morant, who's clearly taking the lead in that pack currently of young players. Trae Young had been that. I feel like Ja Morant's just catching up to where Trae Young had been. Even though it's just that Ja's more athletic. People like watching him more. Right. Yeah. People like watching him more because he does more. But Trae Young had been schooling niggas from way back when he was like, yeah, he's young. He's a young buck. And he's schooling the league. Luka on the same level. But aside from Luka and Trae, we were waiting to see who else was going to pull away. And now it's looking like Ja. It looks like Cade is on his way.
Yeah, I like him too.
Cade is on his way.
That was my boy last year. I told y'all.
Man, I
told you.
I don't like Detroit because of where I was born. That's weird to say. But I like their squad. I know they're currently at the bottom of the East.
Are you talking about the team up north, a.k.a. Detroit? AKA
yeah. I like their squad. I really do like their squad. I got nothing to say. I like their squad. Sadiq Bey, Jaden Ivey, and Cade Cunningham.
Are you saying they can smash the Cavs?
No, I'm not saying all that. I'm just saying so the same way I was saying the Young Bucks are all moving at different speeds, that's the entire Detroit team because they're all young. Killian Hayes, all of them are moving at different paces, but once they all catch up with each other, once it evens out and they are loose in the game, they're going to be a dangerous squad. I don't see them being a playoff team just yet, but I see them being at the very least what the Detroit Lions are in the NFL right now. A team that'll just rough you up and knock you off your rhythm. Oh, you didn't beat us though.
Right.
You got Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey.
Mm-hmm.
That's your Jason Tatum and your Jaylen Brown.
I don't think motherfuckers need to sleep on Sadiq. I think Sadiq Bey
No. Sadiq, he a different animal, bruh. Cause he'll bang in the paint and he'll shoot on you.
And it seems like he got taller. It seems like he's still growing.
I didn't recognize him. I'll be honest.
Because he's taller now than he started out as. He started out as like I thought he was going to be a 2-3 combo. Now he's starting to look like a 2-4 combo.
But you know who leading that team? Bogdanovich. 20 points a game.
I mean, I could any Bogdanovich I can say is gonna do their thing.
I like that boy, man. I like that boy. Either
or. I'm with either one of them. Boyan, Bogdan, doesn't matter. I fuck with both of them.
But he said Boyan, Bogdan.
That's their names, though. Whatever the fuck, that's their name.
Yeah, that's his name, Boyan.
Shit, Bobo, Sambo.
Shit, Bobo currently top 5 in blocks right now in the league.
Hey, look, then you can't forget about Marvin Bagley.
Right.
Isaiah Stewart.
Right. Beef Stew.
Man.
I fuck with Isaiah Stewart too.
Don't let them get in that. What you were saying about Cleveland a couple of years back, that's where Detroit at right now.
No, I agree. And I like that they're together. You know what I'm saying? Like, them motherfuckers that go to a game like they was in the playoffs. Killian Hayes, Cade Cunningham, and Isaiah Stewart were all in the playoffs sitting watching, I can't remember who it was, play.
Mm-hmm.
But them niggas ain't playing. Like, they like, listen, we need to figure out what it is they got, we ain't got, we going to check them out.
Right.
That's what you do.
Yeah, I got nothing but love for them.
Hey, for Malcolm, I like what AD and LeBron doing, dog.
Listen.
Yeah, I don't like what I seen last night. Like, when I was telling Cliff, I had watched the highlights of the game. And I didn't know that we basically came back. AD had to hit 2 free throws, a couple seconds left. Most likely would have won the game. Not guaranteed. Most likely. Missed that. what was it, the first or the second? He missed one of them when the OT was over.
Got ran on in OT. What was it, like 13-2?
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
I mean, but you got to think about it too. Y'all's team is on a higher age average. So later in the game is most likely when y'all start losing the game. It's not like LeBron can be Mr. Fourth Quarter forever. You can either choose to start hot or end hot, but I guarantee you won't do both.
But it looked like, I don't know what Q thinks, but it looked like they didn't start hot. It looks like as the game played along.
Yeah.
I told you, AD had 6 in the first half.
It was second, third, and then they had a run in the fourth.
Right. So
it wasn't, because in the fourth quarter early on, it was looking a little ugly for the Lakers.
Right. And I was like, because look, this is what I was saying before the show. I said, damn, Joel Embiid, he was shooting threes. He was dominant. He was, like.
He does what he wants. Joel Embiid does what he wants to do. Nobody is going to stop Joel Embiid but Joel Embiid.
And you're gonna defend Harden whether he's shooting 4 of 11 or 11 of 11.
Yeah, I do think, and I like the fact that Shake Milton and them is like getting they shine right now, because that's exactly what we talked about earlier. You get the 6th and 7th and 8th man involved, so when you need them, they're already comfortable with that floor.
Yeah. I'm waiting on this 3-team, 4-team trade the Lakers are going to do this season.
Oh, yeah.
Now that is interesting. You know the Lakers are going to be involved in a big trade.
There's a move coming, man, because y'all got some good chemistry, and if y'all select the right core and leave it be, hence Pat Bev, I'll actually leave Westbrook out, because they're gonna diminish and downgrade what you're offering for Westbrook. I can just tell you that now.
Period.
So
it doesn't matter what he's been doing.
Yeah. You keep them two, though. You good, man.
I do like that he's finally accepted that role, that 6-man role. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look good there. That's the only way it's going to work. You can't be out there with the what we say, the Formula One cars. You can't. We need you to have your room to do your thing.
But he been hustling though, diving on the floor.
Yeah,
he has to. Man. He has to make a name for himself. And we said it on the game. We was talking on the game. I said everybody being hard on Russ in LA, they need to turn that energy towards Kawhi Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
True.
That's who you need to be upset with right now, because at least Russ has been trying at all. Don't care if he's missing, he's trying. And y'all out there terrorizing him and his family with letters, memes, social media, and everything you can name, and he's still showing up and he's still playing. But what can you say about Kawhi?
Man, I ain't 100%, and I ain't getting out there, man.
I wish I could do the Kawhi.
The laugh, right? Can't nobody do the Kawhi laugh but Kawhi.
Like
that was a good try.
Right. His face
crook, like.
Yeah, it's like he's crying.
Man.
Kawhi, but he don't. That's what I was saying. Not everybody has that killer in him. That's what we didn't even finish that. That's what we were saying. Q and I had said no. Cliff, you said you felt like he did or he showed it, but I don't think Kawhi ever had that killer in him.
Kawhi strikes me as the guy that if he wasn't big and athletic like that, he would be the kid at the end of the lunch table by himself with his braids unbraided drawing anime.
Right.
Old table pulled up.
Right, and he just sitting back down there by himself on the, ain't even eating, just drawing anime. Right. Listen, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that guy, because I got a guy from high school that's like that, you know, I don't talk to, but I still, you know, wish him a happy birthday every year and all that, but I mean, it's not high school anymore. What can I do? I can't relate to you. You know, I just can't. I can't. But that's who Kawhi Leonard would be if he wasn't.
That's
if
funny.
He wasn't athletic. All that crazy shit.
Hey, but question for y'all. So Nike parted ways with Kyrie Irving.
I mean,
Stop.
You know,
I'm still repping Nike or no? Damn, while I'm talking, while I'm questioning it.
I mean, it's not really so. That's what I'm saying. This whole cancel culture is wild to me, right? Because you could look anything up, pull the tag from the back of your shirt right now, and Google the name, and I bet you'll find something cancelable about them. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing's going to be the way you want it to be until black folks get on a black owned shit. You know what I'm saying? And y'all have y'all's own Nike situation. Nothing's going to be... There's no reason to hold a loyalty or give up a loyalty to a brand because you don't agree with them. Because they've done something. They've all done something. Look it up. You can find a reason to stop wearing it, and we're not gonna. So get over it.
Well, Cliff, I'm gonna go ahead and patent it for you now.
What?
So anybody listening, anybody watching, it's patent, motherfucker. New exclusive line, Showerhead.
Showerhead, the shower line.
Sell NFL cleats and basketball shoes all night long, baby.
Listen.
And we got the cups too.
Yep. Kyrie, when you're ready, fuck Adidas, fuck Puma. I don't care what they talking about. Come holler at Cliff, Jordan Jennings.
You know what's crazy though? It's funny that you say that, right? Because nope. It all goes back to the powers that be. The reason why it's hard for Lamar Jackson's mom and who in the NBA is the same way. I can't think.
Somebody else got their mom or something.
Their mom is the manager in the NBA. I can't fucking think.
Was
That's gonna drive me crazy.
I thought his mom.
No, she did. She did. Yeah, she did.
I don't know who it could be, Cliff.
I can't think. But there's a reason why they don't succeed, right? Because you're not in the club. You're not in the fraternity. We won't speak to you because we have our own fraternity.
Yep.
And Cliff, you're not in it.
If you're not represented by
right, then you can't.
Such and such. Yeah.
Right. Because I was just thinking in my head, like, why would you would think that with as much money as these contracts are to get tossed around, that you would see at least one person in the NBA that would pull so-and-so JoJo up, they cousin, because he's smart as fuck and he knows numbers. This is my guy that's going to be representing me from here on out. I'm bringing my family on. But you're not allowed to. You feel what I'm saying?
They don't need another Rich Paul. You see what Rich Paul did?
Right. You're not allowed to.
Fuck the game up. He fucked the game up.
And that's interesting, and I don't mean to take it that way, but you can't. It's ironic that black folks all fall into athletics, because I know, like, naturally athletic, not all, but, you know, for the most part. But that's one of the industries that you can't lift your people up with you.
Nope.
You can't bring people along when you're an athlete because they won't allow you to give them the roles to be recognized. You don't even have to have a license. Well, you do have to have a license to be an agent and all that, but you'd be surprised what the rules are to be one. Once you start reading into it, you're like, oh yeah, you just don't want motherfuckers to be one.
Right.
It's not like a college degree or anything like that. You have to do certain things, but in order to do those things, you have to release the block that you have, that fraternity has on them. You feel what I'm saying? So you're never going to see Mrs. Well, my mom's not Jordan Jennings, but you're never going to see the mom take off as the manager in a situation like that.
Right.
Even in boxing, you look at Devin Haney. He has his own promotion company. Now, it is funny, though. I will say that Devin Haney needs to be championed because that's what persistence gets you. Because he had his own promotional company and his father was the manager. And that was the reason he couldn't make a lot of those fights. Because the fraternity was like, nope, you're not one of our guys, so we're not going to lift you up. Because if you get the belts, and that means we no longer control them.
Right.
Because you're not under our fraternity. But what did he do? He kept pushing, was like, fuck it, I'll fight whoever you put in front of me. And then when it came time, and he saw that shit happen with Teofimo Lopez losing to Cambosos. And dude was like, I don't care who I fight next, but it's going to be in Australia. And I'm going to have a rematch clause. And that's going to be in Australia. Right. And I'm going to get 75 and the fighter who I fight's only going to get 20. And Devin was like, sign me up. Yeah, you thought nobody would accept these terms. Sign me up. And now you got somebody that independent promotion company controls all the belts at 135. Now what they doing? Hitting them even harder with the sanctioning fees. Because you know if you got a belt, you got to pay to keep it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you got to pay sanctioning fees for that belt to that promotion company to keep that belt. That's why Gervonta and Mayweather always said those belts don't matter. Because it's cutting into my income. You're taking, $120,000, $150,000 from me every time I fight for your sanctioning fees. I don't want the belt. I just want to be the best. But see, if Gervonta Davis really wants to get gangster with it, because right now all the belts we just said are in one person's pocket. Right. If you want to get gangster with it, fight that one person, get all them belts in the same night. I drop the belts, I'm no longer the champion. That same night, the same night they put the belts on my shoulder, I drop all the belts. I don't want them, I'm no longer the champion.
Win them just to release them?
Right, like just to show you I am the best. I'm not paying your fees though. I had them for 5 seconds. I had them because I won them, but I don't want them anymore. And I'll just be the ignorant guy fighting for him every time. Like every time. He has no title defenses because he never accepts the title.
Oh, shit.
You gotta find ways to beat these motherfuckers because like I said, it's a fraternity and they constantly in a fucking office trying to find ways to beat you. So beat them back.
Kick their ass.
Listen, no building stands forever. Eventually that motherfucker crumbles unless somebody else comes in and fixes it up. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what they do. They pass down the situation. That's why it's like, 4 families owning most of the teams in the NFL? Because we pass shit down like that.
Yeah, you got Walmart that bought the Broncos a couple months ago.
Well, now money, you know what I'm saying? Now the fraternity's breaking up because money is what drives all. So if you got more money than this family over here, you got it. You can have it now.
Broncos playing like shit. The Walton family said Walmart prices is going up.
Right. Ain't no more rollback.
Yeah. Hey, Russell Wilson rolling back? Oh, we ain't no more.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said that a couple of weeks ago too. They posted a status saying,
stupid.
"What happened to the rollback at Walmart?"
Listen,
right.
Russell.
Right.
Russell motherfucking Wilson.
We're going to get it back in these prices at Walmart. But yeah, that's all I had on Kyrie real quick. I just thought that was interesting with the Nike, but...
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm still probably going to rock Nike.
Right. I'm, like I said, didn't realize it. Wearing it as we speak. Shit.
But shit, that's why, listen, and you see what happened when LeVar did to himself. He could have really made that something, but...
Well, Nike cut Colin Kaepernick. Remember?
You said what?
Him. Remember when Nike cut Colin Kaepernick or whatever? This ain't the first time.
But then they also bring him back on to do his
Yeah,
like his Freedom line or whatever it was that he did.
Yeah, he got a nice little contract right now with him.
So then, do y'all think? Okay, next question then. Do y'all think they eventually one day bring Kyrie back in the future? Y'all think that's it?
I think if Kyrie's smart, he won't go back.
I wouldn't. My shoe is damn near the top seller.
Right.
Why go back?
So what do you do with his shoes now? Do you drop the price significantly? Do you just stop selling them as a whole? What do you?
I mean, I guess he's still gonna get paid, because even if you drop me, you are gonna keep selling my shoe. At least the one that's out, the ones that are out. So
no, I think they pulled him because Corwin Cliff, Dick's Sporting Goods in Indiana, and they said they were selling them. He was posting pictures of them having to pull all the Kyries off the rack.
Yeah, man.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you just get rid of them, you just throw them away. Hey, are they free? Are they highly discounted? I mean,
if Kanye wasn't so volatile at the moment, I would team up with him and be like, we dropping our own brand, period.
Nah.
But Kanye West is volatile at the moment.
He's been volatile.
He has, but especially at the moment. You said what?
Nah, Kyrie need to go ahead and follow with his word, man.
What's
it's a black business out there with
that he can team up with to make shit.
Yeah.
And I think
Kyrie and Fila drop something.
Nah, not even Fila.
No, it has to be a brand that nobody commonly knows, right?
Because I want that motherfucker that's on TikTok, that's well known, that been doing their own damn thing, styling and profiling. and you like find that motherfucker and blow them up on some 2K shit. Like, hey, I'm finna go find this motherfucker.
I mean, you got the money. Period. Point blank. You got the money. That's one thing. Is you anytime motherfuckers is asking you to donate $500,000 to get back into the league, you have the money to front the business if you're confident in it. And if you don't have people on your team right now currently that aren't talking to others to get that into motion, motherfuckers need to be fired. Motherfuckers need to be fired. This is the perfect time.
I bet they won't sell their shoes like LeVar. Trying to $300, $400 fucking dollars.
$500. Shit, they came out $500.
Oh yeah.
They came out $500 and then they lowered them to like $400 and then $350. I think is where they.
What were they called again?
Big Baller brand.
Right. Yeah. Triple B's.
And I'm not mad at him for doing that.
LeVar tried to rip us off, and his business partner ripped him off. Ain't that the irony, though? That's some shit.
You think? Is that what happened?
I mean, like you said, you try to sell it to the world for $500. Clearly, that's not affordable for the average person. And then your business partner's ripping you off behind the scenes on whatever proceeds y'all making. So, hey. Sometimes you can't overcharge people and hit them over the head like that.
No, I agree. I agree 1,000 with that.
Then your homie seeing how much you bringing in, and he ain't really your homie. Oh, let me go ahead.
But that's what happens when you from Chino Hills,
right?
You know what I'm saying? You get. What's the word? You get, I don't want to say brainwashed, but you think that culture is the only one. Mm-hmm. That LA culture, and if I don't make it hella expensive, people aren't going to want it in the first place. So, but niggas don't live like that outside of everywhere else.
Right, they don't.
It's only probably 3-4 places maybe in the country that live like that, and that would be your Californias, your low South Floridas, and your New Yorks. Other than that, high fashion isn't popping everywhere.
No.
Trust me, I can attest to that being in Mississippi right now.
High fashion isn't. Let me find out somebody in Mississippi about to be stomping down the street in some $500 Big Baller brands just to stunt. For what? For who?
Hell nah, they going in city trends and rainbows.
You hear what I'm saying? You hear what I'm saying? That's the same up here, for real. That's the same up here.
That's crazy.
That's funny as fuck. But yeah, you grow up in that LA life, that California life, then of course, yeah, I'm not, because hella motherfuckers is walking up down with Gucci and Balenciaga and all that, you know, all the little bullshit walking up and down the street. How many motherfuckers you see like that anywhere else? And even if you out in a club in like Columbus and you see a motherfucker with a Balenciaga shirt on or whatever, the first thing I think is you got that motherfucker shipped here. You know what I'm saying? Where you go to, what store you go to? You went to Von Mar and went to the, you know what I'm saying? Like, what store you go to get that?
Might had a booster. They don't know who they are.
Listen, it's holiday time. Starting to get our camera on, get them boosters boosting.
They might not
get
know
them pewters puting. You get shot at.
Nothing at the store, yeah.
Homie, I do the shooting. I do the recruiting. I tutor the students. I nurture their brains. That nigga was hot, man. I don't care what nobody say. That nigga was hot back in the day. But back to this basketball. I do want to know, of course, top 3 shot percentages in the league right now goes to Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Joel Embiid, I believe.
For what? Points?
Yeah, point percentage and shit.
Actually, it's SGA. Gildress.
Oh, yeah, it is Gildress. That is who it is. You are absolutely correct. Yep, then Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
You are absolutely correct. Let me find out. And that's crazy too, because OKC ain't nowhere near the top 5. Well, what? I'm not gonna say nowhere. What are they? What were they? 8?
Shit, OKC?
Yeah.
Nah, they 12.
12.
They're behind the Warriors.
I couldn't remember where I saw them at. But that's another squad on the rise, slowly on the rise. I know Chet Holmgren out for the season, but listen, Aaron have been talking about Pokusevski for a while now, and he's been showing up.
And you can't forget about Giddey.
That's what I'm saying. Giddey and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, them is hands downs. But the third was supposed to be Chet. Now it's starting to look more Poku-ish. And Poku is really that guy. Aaron said it. He caught it. He said it way back. He called that shit. I think he called it before you started doing the podcast. He was talking about the dude to the point that he couldn't even pronounce his name, and we had to look it up on air. You don't remember that, Mount?
I think so, yeah.
Man, he called that way back. And look at where he is now.
Balling.
Man. And he really is. And that's another one. I think if my memory serves me correctly, he's another one who started out playing point guard all his life, then hit a crazy growth spurt and got to be above 7. So that's why he's good with his dribble and his shot and all that bullshit. And he's skinny enough to still be quick.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And it's crazy how the cookie crumbles, right? Because it's like Chet Holmgren was supposed to be that. He was supposed to be that 2.0. And then you get hurt. And then the guy that they originally said was that ends up coming out and being that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, Pokusevski's career would not have been the same if Chet Holmgren didn't get hurt.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Unless he naturally fitted the 4. It is a blessing for him, but it's not so much for Chet.
Nah, that's a blessing for OKC for next year.
No, you are correct with that. Because I still think Chet will do well, but he's just too small framed. If he's doing anything right now, I think he should be bulking up.
Right.
Muscle mass.
Yeah, while he's going through his therapy and all that, bulk the fuck up. Not heavy. We don't want you booby cousins, but I mean, get some sturdiness about you.
Give him some time. Like I said, y'all remember how Giannis came into the league?
Shit, you remember how Yao Ming came into the league and how he left? Right. That nigga was putting on a good 10 pounds per year. By the time he left, it looked like he had a bowed out at the bottom a bit. When you ever seen a Chinese person get bowed out at the bottom? Yao started to.
Trying to guard Shaq, he had.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was real big at that time.
You know, it's funny.
Shaq and Ming.
It's funny that you say that because that's probably what fucked them up. They were probably like, you need to put on weight to be able to contest with Shaq, and his body doesn't hold it the same way.
Right.
Because he was still real skinny up top, but he was starting to get heavy down by the hips and the leg area, and it was like, what? What's going on? What's going on, y'all? Next thing you know, he out the league. Shaq traded to Cleveland.
Took a toll on her. But like they said, all that force, I was watching when I was watching that little Shaq documentary I was telling you and Q about. You know,
I still gotta watch that.
About it's like 4 times your weight, the gravity force coming down.
Right.
So yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like we're getting to the point now where receivers and running backs dive to the ground to avoid hits, right? So you would think you would have a dominant big that would never jump in. I'm not going to jump the dunk. I'm going to just hold it up and make sure y'all ain't dip. You know what I'm saying? Like just dip it in. I ain't even jumping. That's essentially who Nikola Jokic is.
Right. He don't jump.
Now, his career may be extended for a big man because he's not dunking like that. He's not doing that. Like, he barely leaves the ground on his shot.
He's finesse.
He like, I know I'm big. I know I'm tall. My joints are precious. I'm not doing none of that. Right. Maybe he is the MVP for knowing that.
It's that
Here come Embiid with them big, strong African joints, and he like, fuck it, I'ma just do it, and he gonna be out the league a lot faster than Nikola Jokic is. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that the way Embiid plays, the way he has to play, not gonna last as long as Nikola will.
Probably not.
Ain't even know probably about it unless Nikola gets a freak accident, injury. If it's just based on what they've been doing consistently, Embiid he's banging around. When you see Jokic banging around.
Right.
Jokic kind of plays like Dirk.
He does. He plays very similar.
Like a more Dirk with more playmaking.
Luka plays like a smaller Dirk.
Nah, Luka's a little more aggressive than Dirk was.
I feel like Dirk was
Young Dirk went in and did all that.
Right.
When he got older, he just stayed beyond the 3-point line or did the turnaround fade away.
That'll probably be Luka one day because you think how old Luka is. Luka's only still like, what, 21, 22? I don't even know if he's 21.
He's a baby. I think he is only 21. 22
you know what I mean?
At the oldest.
And you know he's not the most athletic, Cliff, so imagine him 10 years plus from now if he's still...
But he still gets up, though.
Well, I hope he does at 20 fucking years old. I hope.
Well, I'm saying, though, like, you got to think about the height difference in comparison, too. Like, you got Dirk, who came in the league at 6'11".
Right.
And then you got Luka, who's just a strong 6'7", 6'8". He's 6'8" in the books, but he's just 6'8". You know what I mean? It's not like he's tall.
Right. He's not.
He's tall, but you know what I mean? For the league, you still got to jump to get your dunks in.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying.
Dirk still has to jump to get his dunks in at 6'11", so a 6'8" guy definitely has to get off the ground to get him in.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think his game will allow him, without the height, to ever be just a Dirk. That could be a lie, though, because Kevin Love is 6'8", 6'8", 6'9", and that's essentially his game too, an older Dirk game.
You sure Kevin Love ain't like 6'10"?
Nah, he ain't 6'10". I know that factually. I don't even know if he'll be listed as 6'9".
6'8". Okay.
Yeah.
He just looks a little taller, maybe.
Right, yeah, you think. Well, really, like, when you think about him in Minnesota, it was just, that's how you know he was a lot more athletic than he let on as well. Because when you think about him in Minnesota, of course he looked like a big man.
Mm-hmm.
He'd out-rebound anyone on the floor. Didn't matter who, what center, anybody on the floor, he was out-rebounding them back in Minnesota.
He was balling.
Now it's like he's still good for, like you say, veteran shit. And just stay behind the three. He don't miss a three, for real. Matter of fact, I would like to look that up right now. What is Kevin Love's current three-point percentage?
.373. Oh, that's for the career.
For the season, yeah, I want to know. It said Kevin Durant. How the fuck did that happen?
For the season,
38.6.
38.6.
Yep, that's what I see too.
And that's crazy because he's, like, when you think about him, he always has been a knockdown 3-point shooter. So it's like,
I mean, he's only averaging 10 points this season.
Right, because he's been hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
He's been hurt more than he's played. But yeah, he's had games where he was definitely putting up more than 10. The nigga get like fucking, from what I've seen, 3 to 4 threes a game. He played 19 games. Yeah, ain't no 6 Man of the Year award for you, bruh. That's a fact.
Yeah. Out again tonight, back.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him.
Yeah, you got no Donovan as well.
Again
Tonight. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but it makes sense though, right? Because we on a Western game run, sitting for the West where it don't really fucking matter. Now, once the East games come back up, we need you back, Donovan. We need you, Kevin, for give us 15. Can you give us 15 minutes with your old ass? With your old depressed ass? Yeah, I don't know.
Man, you're ignorant.
What?
Love everybody.
Oh, of course. Love everybody. But I mean, let's be honest, like, I get it. You're a professional athlete. I'm sure it's strenuous, stressful on the mind, but that's again what you get paid for. You get paid for that. Now, it's a lot of motherfuckers that I know that got a lot more reason to be depressed than a professional basketball player with millions of dollars.
Right.
I'm not as empathetic for you. I still am, but not as. So, play ball.
He said, play ball. Keep going.
I don't really got nothing else for the basketball. What you got?
Basketball. Current standings for the NBA MVP as follows as of December the 10th, yesterday.
Luke in the front.
Yeah. They got Jason Tatum, number 1.
Oh.
Giannis Antetokounmpo number 2, Luka Doncic number 3, Nikola Jokic number 4, Ja Morant number 5.
I would put Luka over Giannis at the moment.
I don't know about that.
I would. That's just me, though.
Luka's got 32.9 points per game so far, 8.6 rebounds.
Leading the league. Luka's leading the league in multiple. Well, not leading, but he's in the top 3 of the league in multiple categories.
Well, I could bring up a scenario in last night. Obviously, I watched the game because I betted on it. I took the Bucks to win. They won by 1 against the Mavs. But you get Giannis fouled out late in the game with the Mavs up by 1 point, and Luka didn't get it done. The Bucks still came out on top.
I mean, but that also depends on the rest of the game as well. That's where it gets tough, right? Because at the same time, it is a team sport, but basketball can be dominated by one man.
Giannis had 5 points in the first half. Ended with 28.
That's Giannis's gift, though.
They put up a wall on him. They shut him down.
Right. He can turn it on, though, at most times. He's still not at that. See, Giannis is going to have, I think, one of the biggest fall-offs that the NBA sees.
Really?
I do. I think after 1 year, it's just going to be the end of Giannis. Because he still is struggling to develop that 3. It's starting to look better. It's starting to look better. But you're still. But how many? It's like Carr. How many years are you in the league? Now, when you get old and you can't go down the court and take 2 steps from the foul line to the rim and dunk, what are you then gonna do?
You just get crafty.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Giannis has never been really crafty.
What he said last night, damn that wall. Second half, he said, damn that wall. And wall they putting up, damn that wall. That's why he fouled out.
But he's still considerably young.
What is he, 28, 29?
About that, yeah, 28, I believe.
28.
Yeah. You're still considerably young. Now, you say, damn that wall now. But hit 30 and 32 and see if you still taking them steps, Euro, and running into a wall. It's not happening.
I don't know. LeBron still say damn that wall.
LeBron is a freak of nature, and I'm not saying Giannis isn't, but the only thing that saves LeBron is that he's a threat everywhere. He's a threat on the pass. He's a threat on the shot. He's a threat. If we know you're not going to shoot your own, that's why we can make a wall. You feel what I'm saying? We can't make a wall if you're a shot threat as well.
You can't make a. You got to make a wall because you can't put anybody one-on-one with him. He has increased in it, advanced in his dribbling. You know what I mean?
I'm not pressed with. Yeah, I agree with the dribbling. I think the shot is the biggest issue.
I don't think Giannis needs a shot, man. That's kind of like Marcus. That's like Marcus Smart with Boston. Like, if you hit a 3, great, but I don't.
But he will, though.
You're distributing now.
Right now, you're considered one of the best of the league. At one point, they were saying he's the next face. You can't afford to lose athleticism based on age and or injury and then have nothing left to give.
I don't know. Giannis got a lot of shooting around him. He has a lot of shooting, good shooting.
Yeah, he has gotten better with shooting. That's what I'm saying. Like, what was that All-Star game? Was it a year or 2 ago? He was bussing.
Yeah, Giannis. Yeah.
But an All-Star game is different.
I mean, I understand that, but he was doing some shots in real games too. But I'm saying he was really showing out like his shooting.
He'll hit a shot, and I've seen him this year hit some back-to-back threes. But you still don't have a consistent shot. I've seen Russell Westbrook hit back-to-back threes. That doesn't mean his shot's consistent either. All I'm saying is when your athleticism leaves you, because that's what James Harden was saying. I would love to be able to take 3 steps across half court and dunk the ball. But I can't. I have to be good at basketball. And I'm not saying that I agree with Harden and downing Antetokounmpo like that, because I do think he is good at basketball, but I understand exactly what he's saying. Your whole career is based off of your athleticism. If that leaves you, what else do you have? Nothing.
But ain't that LeBron's? I mean, LeBron.
No, because once again, LeBron is a threat from everywhere. LeBron's a threat from three.
He still has his athleticism, and I don't see.
You can't leave LeBron open on the three, though. You see how they guard Giannis. Yeah. They let Giannis shoot a three. You can't do that with LeBron.
LeBron's shaky on his free throws these days, let alone the
free throws are different. Now, he's shooting 31.8 from three right now, LeBron James. But I also guarantee he takes more than Antetokounmpo as well. Now, the guy who I've been saying, and I'm telling you, it's going to be a while before y'all get to see me be right again. But that guy, Bronny James.
Oh, I seen a highlight of him the other night against some Sierra Canyon. He was going off.
I thought that's where he went to school, Sierra Canyon.
Yeah.
He must have played somebody. He must have been on Sierra Canyon playing somebody else.
Right. Yeah, who was they playing? It was
I'm telling you, that nigga, the little nigga shot is pure now. His shot is pure now. He's gonna be a mixture, like I said, of his dad and Steph. I'm telling you, that nigga shot is pure. And he's passing. His dad's passed first. And he don't have that athleticism his dad had. So he has to be more pass first than LeBron did.
I don't know. After I seen him yam on that one little boy. Yeah. I don't know. He got some... But see,
it's coming to him now, right? It's coming to him now. LeBron had it in the 8th, 9th grade.
But that's good, though. Because that he's older and finally figuring that out.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can be a whole lot smarter. You won't have half, maybe, hopefully, don't have half the knee injuries and so on and so forth.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And you ain't been punishing your body from a very early age. LeBron was getting up there young.
Yeah.
From a young buck, getting up there.
It's slowly getting to the point where the athletic guy is lasting in the league a little bit longer. Instead of 3 or 4 year spurts where you see that high flyer, they're starting to last a little bit longer.
I agree, because you look at your Brandon Roys, who didn't last long. You look at your Derrick Roses, who didn't last long. And I'm not saying that because I know he's still in the league, but he's the perfect description of what I was trying to describe with Giannis.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose lost all his athleticism, and he made up for it by being skilled everywhere else. I don't know that Giannis is that.
I think Giannis can maintain it. He has a different type of culture built in him, a different type of respect for his body. So with that, like,
that's interesting.
I can see it being prolonged. I can see it lasting. I can see Giannis and LeBron being two of the guys like a almost kind of like how Duncan Robinson may be, or Tim Duncan may be, with training certain guys, or Elijah Wan for that matter, training big guys in their craft. I can see them taking on that training athletic players. You got your Shaedon Sharpe, young guy off in Portland, high flyer.
Right.
You know, people like that. I can see it coming to that, man. Because LeBron unlocked something. Spend $1 million on your body a year. It's up to you. He's proven it. It's up to you. It's not being a ball player, going to training camp.
I don't think it's just that, though. At the same time, like, I think that LeBron is also gifted. He's also gifted by God, like body size, durability, all of that is a gift. And I do think that by putting money into yourself, you can never fail. That's the name of the game, right? You got to put money behind yourself to succeed. But I don't think it's going to be like you get the same longevity as a LeBron James by doing the same routines.
I don't know if they train that.
You could be right, though.
Being a teacher is different, though. it may not work out when you first start, but once you get the gist of it, you get enough bodies in, and you learn the gist of different body types and what to do. Kind of like a normal athletic trainer.
Right.
You can't train everybody the same way. You can't treat them the same way, even when they have nagging injuries. You know what I mean?
No, you are correct.
Yeah. So
you are correct, Dan.
They got a lot. I mean, Giannis, he looked like he weighed 100 pounds when he came in the league.
Right.
You know, he got heavier, didn't lose a step.
Right.
Most guys get heavy, they slow down a little bit, have to develop a jump shot. Giannis doesn't, but he has to on the aspect that they don't respect your jump shot.
Right.
They're going to leave you out there.
Right. Anytime they just do that to you, that's let you know they don't respect that.
But I have saw a couple of times where they left him out there and Giannis said, fuck it, went full speed at the rack. Like, I'm coming to you then, damn it. And that's LeBron to me. That's LeBron. Like, LeBron, he can shoot it, he can dish it, whatever. But LeBron, he has that fuck it moment where he will dart down to the lane and put it in your face.
Right.
So, I want a more athletic league. I want to see it.
I mean, everybody does at the end of the day.
Blocks from the 3-pointer at a all-time high just because of athleticism.
Right. Right.
You shoot way out there, Steph, I'm coming to block you.
Right. Nah, I'm waiting on it. That's a love. That's something that we may be waiting for a while though.
I'm waiting on it, man.
I'll throw something else out there while I use the bathroom, and then we gonna cover these 2 fights tonight, and we out of here.
All right. Raiders suck ass. It's no surprise. We can't talk about that. Let's see here.
They ain't in the bottom of they shit like the Lakers is. That's all I will say.
They might as well be in the bottom because they ain't in the top. Hey, what they say, Q? What Ricky Bobby say? If you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah, they ain't even low.
Right.
Low still in playoff position.
Yeah, right. they just taking up space. You don't even know how many tickets they selling.
I mean, you know, their revenue.
Hey, one thing I will say, Q, is no shock to you, of course, because you already told me, but Tyreek Hill looks fully healthy, as I seen a brief clip of him and Shannon Sharp last night. So I'm like, that man ready to go. Yeah. Fantasy football, let's go. He's ready to go.
That's why I told you to watch the I think it was the Thursday practice. After the Thursday practice, he was up there with Mike McDaniel came after him. And man, you talk about a dude just being a dude. It was funny. It was funny to me. He was like, yeah. And the funny thing is when he ended it, I forget what the reporter asked him, but he was like, yeah, you know. He was asking about his tattoos. And he got to the end. He was like, yeah, I do got a cheetah on the back. But you know, I was just covering up, trying to make it look pretty, you know, for the all season. Yeah, after we win the Super Bowl. He threw that in there. Yep. He did. Okay. He did throw it in there.
I like it. Yeah, he ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Don't worry about this brief illness."
Yeah.
But yeah, do the Heat play? Let me see. Do y'all play tonight?
They lost tonight, 115-110, I believe, to the Spurs. You know, ain't looking too much.
115-111. Yeah, I see it. Okay. Yeah.
Ain't looking too much in it. Our guys are finally starting to get in rotation. Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero. You know, we're not leaving the other cats behind. So I'm ready.
Guys are getting in the rhythm. The one thing I was gonna mention now that you're back, Cliff, is top 5 for Rookie of the Year right now. You got, is it Paolo Banchero? How do you say it?
Yeah, my boy.
Yeah.
Number one pick, baby.
Outside of an injury, he got that.
You got
Benedict Mathurin,
number 2. Jaden Ivey, number 3.
Love it.
Jabari Smith Jr., number 4. And Keegan Murray, number 5.
I could get that.
I like
King Dread in the chat. He said, "Who better, MJ or LeBron?"
Ooh, gonna start it.
Yeah, he tried to throw a wrench in the game.
I mean, we've covered that before, but
I'll sum it up. I will say that I believe that LeBron plays better comp. I think his generation of the game has a lot better players than Jordan's generation of the game. And I think that could be proven when you look at bench players now. You got all-stars on a bench now when back in the day there may not be an all-star on a team. But I will say that Jordan has that killer in him that LeBron could never have, which makes me lean to the Jordan side. But I do like LeBron's full skill set. He said, I say Brian. Yeah, Jordan was a killer, though. Jordan wasn't going to let you lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do think that LeBron all around is more... That's where it gets tough. I won't say more skilled than Jordan, because I do think he's a lot more athletic than Jordan, factually. I don't think that can be argued.
Okay. I get it. But this is where I critique the game at. Like, in Jordan's time, a screen and roll won't get you a switch.
Right.
That man's going to fight over you. I'm guarding you.
Yeah, it was a lot more physical back then.
In this time, a pick and roll, it's kind of like at most times where I'm looking at the game where the guy just happily switch.
You can't, because you can't fight through a screen. It's a foul. You can't fight through that screen. That's a foul. Back in the day, they'll let you fight through it. They'll also let you put your elbow on their back. They'll let you push a guard off of his position. You can't do any of that anymore. So that does mean that you have to have more skill to sink the shots that you're sinking. Nowadays, like I said in 2K, there's a bubble around you. You have a bubble, and as long as you can get your shot off inside of that bubble, they can't really affect you. Even if they impede your landing on a three, that's a foul. Didn't nobody give a fuck about that back then. You think we care if you land on a foot and turn your ankle? Hell no.
This is where I use a Bam Adebayo, for instance. If he plays high and gets in the way, all you have to do is distract that ball handler for less than 2 seconds.
Right.
To get that fast, speedy defender back on him.
Right.
You know, like Jimmy and Bam, they do it the best. Jimmy gonna guard your best guy at the end of the game. He don't give a damn about a screen or nothing. He's not gonna fight through, but he gonna let you know I'm still guarding him.
Right, right.
And Bam gonna get in the way, like, hold up, he guarding him. But what I mean by, like, it's almost animated to where the guy just comes up nonchalant, sets the screen, and they just back away, and it's a switch, and you're like,
I agree too, cuz I agree too. He said MJ also had Hall of Famers around him. It wasn't just MJ. But I mean, you can say the same about LeBron too.
We can say that about the Patriots.
Outside of the first what? 4 years, 5 years where he was in Cleveland? 4 years. Outside of that, he had people around him. He's made sure he kept people around him since then. Since Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, he's made sure who will be Hall of Famers. He's made sure he's had people around him. So I feel like he's kind of tarnished that legacy of saying, well, Jordan had good people. So did you. So did you, and Jordan still won more. The only thing that I feel like you can argue in that time frame is the level of competition. We know there's no question that the level of competition has jumped since the 90s. The only thing is the level of physicality has dwindled. So I feel like that kind of evens it out a tad bit. Can't be as physical. You can't hurt a man and take him out the game. You could back in the day, and that man that hurt that man would still be in the game. You feel what I'm saying? Dennis Rodman was known for taking motherfuckers out. I'm going up and I'm gonna foul him hard.
Created the Jordan rules back in the day.
Well, that was Detroit, but Well, Rodman was on Detroit at the time too. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Then they said, if I can't beat them, I'm going to join them.
Right. Right. Now, I will give you that, cuz for sure, he definitely had people around him. What it was what you're looking for is Jordan had not only coaches, but management as well. And the management made sure that they put pieces around Jordan to help him out.
I mean, LeBron was on
Coach, all them were to help. LeBron, on the other hand, since he has never been, LeBron is kind of like a wild horse. He never really got tamed by a good coach. He's always done him. Where Jordan was a wild, a mare or whatever you call it. But then he came to North Carolina and the coach was like, my nigga, sit down. You thought you was going to do that here? No, learn the game first. And then Jordan came back even better. LeBron never had that taming. You know what I'm saying? Like, the closest thing is what Q said when he went to Miami and you were under Pat Riley. Pat Riley was like, no, you won't be LeBron. You'll be a player on the Miami Heat. But he hadn't had that anywhere else, so nobody's really been able to be like, no, LeBron, if you do this, I'll make sure I got everything else around you to win. LeBron's had to decide that for himself, which has fucked up his chances at winning because you're no GM. But that also goes to your legacy. He had all the pieces, is what Dre said. Who you talking about, Brian or Jordan?
I mean, they both had pieces.
They both had a lot of pieces. The only difference is what I said. The GM brought those pieces in, whereas LeBron brought pieces in and fucked the team up, thinking, let me play with my best friends. Best friends don't get championships. Best friends don't get championships. But I will say it's a dude on YouTube who put out a short that said, I know where LeBron will end his season and he'll get one more ring. I don't know if I agree with this person, and I can't remember his name. I wish I could shout him out. But he said, if you look at all of LeBron's wins, the connector was the fact that he was on a player that played on the Olympic team, the 04 Olympic team or whatever that was, Olympic team.
Wade.
Right, Wade and Bosh in Miami. And then in LA, it was AD and who else? AD, and it was somebody else that he named. I can't think of who. And he said it's only one person still in the league from that Olympic team currently that he could play with. Who is it?
Yeah.
Chris Paul.
Oh, yeah. That
Phoenix Suns. I could see it, though, if Phoenix really wanted to do that. They got pieces they could give up to get him.
If they're not letting... Who does?
Phoenix. I'm definitely giving up. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how good his defense is. I'll give up Mikal Bridges for LeBron. I'll give up Cam Johnson.
He ain't about to play with no Chris Paul. He would have been playing with Chris Paul if he was going to play with Chris Paul.
I think so, too. I do think so, too. That's why I said I don't know if I agree with it, but I can see it happening, like if you chose to. And Dre said MJ is the one he said had all the pieces. Bron has made bad decisions, definitely. Then he says, so do y'all think all the stats that Bron has broken, he should be number one all time? I think if he beats Kareem's, you got to give him that.
No.
I think if he beats Kareem's, whether or not we give them that, the next generations will give him that. Just based on paper.
Early on in LeBron's career, he was Allen Iverson. He was the stat sheet for the team.
Yeah, he had no choice to be in Cleveland.
He was the stat sheet.
But yeah, he had no choice but to be there.
Jordan was what, on the bench early on? Got hurt then?
I don't know if he started on the bench, but
he didn't play as many minutes.
He definitely didn't play as many minutes, but I don't know that he started on the bench.
No, I don't mean as far as coming off the bench, but to me, if you're a starter, but you're not logging as many minutes as a six guy, you know.
Right, I follow. Yeah, no, he wouldn't get that, but that's also you were off the pod when I said it. That's also why I say LeBron is a wild horse. Jordan got tamed. He got tamed by the coaches that he's had to be under. LeBron never got an opportunity to have that, and I gave you credit until he got to the Heat. And Pat Riley was like, oh no, LeBron, you won't be LeBron. You'll be a Heat player. You're not taking over the game. You're going to play based on the team we put around you.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, he never had that hard, come down on him. So he got to make the decisions he wanted to, and they weren't all good decisions.
He was never a closer.
Right. That's the difference Jordan is.
Mm-hmm.
We'll never see a closer like Jordan other than his clone, Kobe.
Okay.
And that's why I can't give Kobe number 2 in anything, because you're a clone. If Kobe was more Kobe, I would love Kobe. But because Kobe was so Jordan, and I wasn't the biggest Jordan fan coming up, because back in the day, if I'm being honest, I liked the Knicks. And Jordan used to stomp the Knicks. He put up his best performances in Madison.
Yeah.
It was to the point that I was rooting for Reggie Miller in that one Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I'm talking about? Where he hit the Kawhi Leonard shot, fading from the side to take him into, I don't think it was overtime. It was just the last seconds of the game. Yeah. I didn't like him back in the day. And same with Mayweather. All the greats I didn't like. Ali, I didn't like him back in the day. You're too good. I need the one who's going to beat you. Give me Frazier. When you're too good, I can't root for the guy that's just the best.
I'm glad he said it, Q.
I can't.
Man.
But it's funny, that's why they say, give me my flowers now, because once the best is gone, then I'm like, I acknowledge. You know what I'm saying? But while you're playing, I'm like, nah, it's got to be somebody better than this nigga.
That sounds like a hater to me.
Now so show me the underdog.
You like Joel so much. He dominates. You love Joel Embiid.
But Joel Embiid has also never gotten there. He's never gotten the taste. He's still the underdog trying to make it. Now, if Joel Embiid was on the Warriors, wouldn't stand him. Wouldn't stand him.
And so it's okay that he dominates from a performance standpoint, but because he's not dominating from getting
right, right.
He's okay in your book.
Right. I like David. I don't like Goliath.
That's why I hate they didn't advertise more as far as Jordan goes. His battles with like the Knicks. Or his battles with the Heat. Because those were two tough ass teams to play.
They were in
that time. Like, you need to show Jordan moments where
Jordan
he's catching the fucking elbow in the face.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's still coming out like, bending
not
over.
Even like, coming out, just not, just taking it and continuing his little triple threat. Like, I'll be all right. Let's go.
Like, stop showing his good highlights. Show when he getting beat down.
Them niggas nowadays turn the ball and walk away. Like, you just gonna travel because you got hit in the face and hope the ref calls it? Like, you soft. Stop being soft.
Yeah.
I get it. That's why it evens out for me. Regardless of what talent Jordan had, he got beat up. He got beat the fuck up. He had to, even when he was taking jump shots, he was getting touched. Now you can't do that anymore. So it's like, of course you're going to hit more. You can't push somebody as they're going up for a shot. You can't put your body on them and run into them so they don't come down nice because you impeded his landing. Now it's a 3-point play. 4-point play if it's a 3. It's made to stuff the stat sheets like football now, which is why I say I don't believe in GOATs from this generation.
That's how Giannis got fouled out last night. Tim Hardaway shot a 3, and well after the ball left his hands, here comes Giannis flying in, foul. Dude. All right, loose ball foul, but not a 3-point foul. You know what I mean? Like, that's where the rules need to change.
Right.
If you shoot and you get hit way after the fact, call it a flagrant if he step on his fucking ankle, or call it a fucking loose ball foul.
Right.
Don't give him 3 damn shots, which he missed all 3 free throws.
Tim Hardaway Jr. did?
Yep. Luka missed 2, and Tim Hardaway missed 3 down the stretch. That's how Milwaukee ended up winning the game.
That's the game, huh?
Yeah.
That's the game.
That's the game. The three free throws were the game.
Would have iced the game, right?
Would have iced the game because Giannis was out of the game. You had Chris Middleton taking over.
He said, Dred said, so do y'all think the stats that Bron has broken? Oh, I already said that. He said, I give Kobe 4th or 5th. Well, see, mine, if I'm being honest, my list is a little different than a lot of people's lists.
I give Kobe 8.
See, me, I gotta give Jordan number 1. And then everybody thinks, where you going, Kareem? No, fuck all that. I'm going AI. Allen Iverson is my 2. Allen Iverson is my 2. Then I'm going Brian. I'll give Kobe 4th. Then I'm going like Kareem and all that. Then Duncan and all them. But no, AI never have nobody. Never had nobody.
You gotta
until
have
Andre
Steph
Iguodala. I forget about Steph. You are correct.
You gotta have him in the top 5.
I'll put him 5. I'll give him 5. I'll give Steph 5.
Bad. The Kemba Mutombo wasn't too bad.
Man, but first of all, Mutombo was at the end of his prime when they got him. Dallin Bear was never prime to begin with.
He still brought, that defensive play.
The closest player you can say to match Allen Iverson, which is sad, is Eric Snow.
Yeah.
Until they got Andre Iguodala, all Allen Iverson had was Eric Snow.
And he had rebounders.
Right. Role playing rebounders. And that was it.
Aaron McKee wasn't no chump.
He was a rebounder. Tough guy on defense, rebounder.
Right.
He has some good role players.
He didn't have anybody though, but his whole career though, you know what I'm saying?
Why didn't make it to the finals then?
Allen.
Right, Allen and Rowe. Do you know how much he averaged that season?
But he had some. But I'm just saying though, he had to have some supporting. You know what I'm saying?
That nigga was averaging close to 40.
He was up there, man.
It was having 50-point games like it was just common to see.
But their defense also was holding teams under 100 like it wasn't shit. You wasn't scoring 100 on them.
But that's another thing. Allen Iverson had a lot more defense than people gave him credit to. Nigga, they always show the Jordan crossover, but they didn't show you the Jordan lockdown where he was guarding him and forced to miss. They don't show you that.
Several times, I might add.
Man, Allen was what I'm saying is he was, for what they gave him and only being a 6 foot even point guard, he changed the game.
He had a team if LeBron never left Cleveland.
Right.
That's how I feel about Allen. Because LeBron did the same thing. He took him to the finals.
Right.
Didn't flourish, but
right. No, I agree with that.
I get why you put Allen. I wouldn't put Allen there too, but I get.
I know a lot of people that wouldn't. But
I get why you do that.
He was just my favorite player. Jordan may be the best, but Allen was my favorite player.
Mm-hmm.
He changed the game for us.
Man, love Allen Iverson, but
practice.
He said 8 is tough.
You talking about Kobe?
Yeah, you gotta be talking about Kobe. Cause
Man,
you know Allen.
Kobe at 8.
You know Allen was the 3, the big 3. That was my dad's favorite number. He used to try to have me wear that. I'm not wearing 3. 3 is your number, not mine. I don't fuck with the 3. I fucks with the 4. Give me the 4.
I was a 3. I ain't gonna lie.
I had that 4. I had to have a 4 in every number I ever wore. It has to be a 4 in it. I come after the 3. I'm rocking the 4.
4th place.
Listen, when you get,
Listen, I don't want to finish 3rd. Give me 4.
Listen, but we'll do. It's 2 fights tonight, at least with the boxing. I know Paddy Pimbleton's coming back. He leading his first pay-per-view tonight, and likes the. Is he Irish or Scottish? I think he's Scottish. He might be Irish. I don't know, but I like Paddy Pimbleton, so good luck to the guy. But as far as boxing goes, Teofimo Lopez, who's currently 17-1, 13 KOs, 25-year-old American fighter, is fighting Sandor Martin, who just came off of the Mikey Garcia win. He just beat undefeated Mikey Garcia, who was, 39-0 at the time? 38-0? And he's 40-2, 13 KOs, 29 years old, hails from Spain. I think that's going to be a good fight, man. I'm actually edging Sandor Martin to win that. If I had the sports betting right now, I would bet that fight because I know they got Sandor as the underdog currently, and he's not to be fucked with. I feel like Tio is stepping up a little too much at the moment with this Sandor Martin fight. But it's only a 10-rounder as well, so both of them kind of step back in competition unless Sandor just agreed to Tio's terms. I don't see why it's a 10-round fight. I really don't. That's kind of amateurish to me. Especially when Teofimo Lopez claims to be undisputed. Nah. Well, claims to be the first undisputed at the 135. Not giving him that. And I don't think he gets past Sandor Martin. Next up is Terrence Crawford. He fights tonight. He fights David Advincian. I don't know. But I don't know this guy. That's why I say shame on Terrence. Terrence should be ashamed of his motherfucking self. And I don't care if the nigga comes to my Columbus, Ohio to square up. He should be fucking ashamed of himself because he didn't take the Errol Spence fight. And now you're fighting a no-name guy that nobody fucking knows. 29-3, 17 KOs, 34-year-old Russian cat. Now we know them Russians is tough, but you ain't no fucking Terrence Crawford.
Said you ain't built like that.
Listen, shame on Terrence Crawford for not taking the Errol Spence fight and then taking this weak ass fight right here. Shame on him. Shame. That's all I can say.
12 rounds for his title too.
Listen, shame on him. I hope he gets beat.
He should get knocked out.
I hope he gets beat because if you're not gonna fight the best, then move out the way for somebody else that wants to.
We saw that back in the day. You fuck around with an underdog if you want to.
Listen, we just talked about Sandor Martin beating Mikey Garcia. He was, 38-0 with 33 knockouts and got his ass beat real quick. Now he's retiring after his first loss. The fuck?
Hit him in the sweet spot.
Who I think Adrian Bronner should have gave him, but he quote-unquote broke his hand in that fight, and that's why he stopped punching. But Adrian Bronner had Mikey dialed up. Mikey Garcia was not ready for Adrian Bronner. He just stopped punching. But yeah, Terrence Crawford, shame on him again. I don't see him losing this fight. By no means. But if he did, I would jump up and down. I will say that. I'm not a fan of his at the moment. Love his style, but I just don't like the fight in him. The heart. He's not ready. And he's 35 right now. You a year younger than me. How much longer you plan to do this? If you're not going to be the best currently, what are you still doing it for? A check?
Yep.
Mayweather showed you could quit and start doing what they call them? They ain't fights, they're
exhibitions.
Exhibition, right?
Not on that type of level, like.
No, he's not. You are correct, but still,
that's ticket sales, though.
Right, they call them the money team for a reason. Money just gravitates towards.
Oh, and Olympic silver medalist fights tonight. Keyshawn Davis, USA Olympic silver medalist Keyshawn Davis fights
Juan Carlos Burgos.
Is that who he fights?
Yep, 8 rounds.
That's another one that I'm just now. Don't get me wrong. I get that you got to ease a young boy like that into it. Like he's coming off of an amateur career. But come on now. You jumping into 8 rounders and you talking about you ready for Tank Davis. If you don't fucking lose yourself, little nigga.
Get him in the sweet spot.
If you don't lose yourself, little nigga, you're insane. And the reason why I say that is because currently the Olympics are no headgear for the championship. So you could knock out the guy across from you, but you think Tank Davis is, you gotta, come on, that's just crazy to me. And don't get me wrong, I know young bucks are supposed to shoot for the stars. I wouldn't respect a young fighter that wasn't I want the best right now. But you're not ready, sir. You're just not ready. And the 8-rounder proves it.
Right.
Because if I'm Olympic silver medalist, you know who you're on par with? Floyd Mayweather. He was an Olympic silver medalist, although he did get robbed. But he was still an Olympic silver medalist. And you think Mayweather going to be calling out the best of the best and then hopping in an 8-round fight? Nah. Now, boxing is a sport where I'll never say it's getting softer because they don't change rules in boxing. But you can tell the fighters are getting softer in a sense of putting more on the business than the legacy. I.e. Terrence Crawford. Legacy, you already undisputed 140. You undisputed that division. So why not come up and fight Errol Spence to undispute 147? Meanwhile, Clarissa Shields is undisputed at 3 different weight divisions? You got a young lady out here outdoing the male boxers. And she fought in MMA too.
Killing it.
So now the undisputed dog of our generation is going to be a female? I'm not mad at that, if that's what it is, because I'm a Clarissa Shields fan. But I'm saying that's just what we're on now, where the women are putting more dog in than the men. I don't get it. And I don't care if it goes back to that fraternity conversation that we talked about before. At some point, the best got to be like, I'm not taking another fight but that fight. You won't get another dollar out of me unless you make this fight. That's the only fight I want. That's the only fight I'll compete in. I'm not doing nothing else. And the fact that these fighters aren't doing that lets me know they soft too. Not soft, because I know what it takes to hop in the ring. That's a different beast. It's a different mindset. I get it. But don't be soft doing it. You chose to jump in the ring to be the best. Go ahead and do that. Because any child that's ever hopped in that ring didn't get paid to do it. I didn't get paid for all the headaches I got. You did it because you like to fight and you wanted to be the best. So once the money comes in, what changes? What changed all of a sudden? Now you went commercial on us? I don't respect it. That's all I will say. But that's all I got for this evening. Unless somebody else has anything else to say, we can jump into our Hit the Showers and get the fuck up out of here.
Hit the showers to the Lakers for blowing that game last night. Didn't have to lead to overtime. Do better, because that wasn't it.
So you really said hit the showers, Anthony Davis.
Yep. AD.
Nah, you can't do him like that just because he had one bad game. But, I'm just being Funny.
Well, one bad game might lead to a trend, so we got to cut this shit now.
Well, at least it was a bad game and not an injury.
Right, an illness or injury.
Right, he'll come back from a bad game. An injury he may not come back from.
Highly doubtful.
Man, who you got, cute?
Man, I got Steph Curry.
What? Whoa!
Yeah, give me some information. Why is
y'all ain't heard about this, but he did all-time starting five recently.
Oh my gosh! I think I heard it. Yeah, running back.
And this was on the 8th, where I'm looking at, and it was him teamed up with Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Shaq in the middle, and Dirk Nowitzki.
Well, I can see where his head is at, right? Because he's a shooter himself, so he respects the floor being spread. Can't spread it with Shaq. So you need a shooter at the 4.
Hey, what Shaq say? To spread the floor, you need a shooter, but then you need a guy to get it on the inside.
No, I agree. But
I learned that from Shaq.
Who's the best 4 shooter of all time?
There's many 4s. I got
shooter
2
of all time, though. I got
2 4s. And don't hate me, but KD, LeBron.
Now, I don't want either of them in my all time.
I mean, if you want to go big shooter,
right?
You can switch positions for some old school guys because they were a little taller at the guard position back in the day.
Right. Okay, I see what you're saying. So you're gonna put a 4 or a 3 at the 4?
You can put a 3 at the 4. Hell, you can
Who
put
you gonna put Ron Artest or Lamar Odom?
Hell no, not a all time.
So that's what I'm saying. I would think that Dirk might end up being in that spot. If you really of needing a shooter from that spot, who else? Who else would you give it to? Garnett. A shooter from that spot? Kevin Garnett could shoot the 3, but he wasn't a Dirk Nowitzki shooter.
He had a better turnaround.
What you mean?
He had a better turnaround than Dirk. That's what Dirk did. Turn around.
Post game.
He had a better turnaround hook.
No, turnaround jump shot.
Nah, he ain't had no better turnaround jumper than
You ain't watched enough
KD Dirk? Then.
Right.
Hell, Chris Bosh had a better turnaround than Dirk. Look at Chris Bosh in his prime in Toronto. In Toronto, man. Chris Bosh, all his highlight tapes went. Matter of fact, you go to that one season where
I bet Chris Bosh learned it from Dirk.
Nah.
I bet he learned that turnaround from Dirk. Dirk's turnaround was unblockable. You couldn't block Dirk's turnaround.
You can block KG. You can block Chris Bosh. You can block. I'm losing names, but you couldn't block them.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch a little bit more KG because I mean I've seen a good fair share of it, and I don't know that I would just put it in his bag. Like, yeah, he got that.
But I mean, all time 4, like.
But shooting, because you got to think this is a shooter that's making this list. So if I'm thinking of the best shooting 4, I can't think of another than Dirk.
Hell, I'm gonna tell you, like, okay, shooter.
Donyell Marshall, Steve Novak. What, like?
Oh my God.
Shooting 4. That's what I'm saying. Like, who else? I don't know.
Whiskey, Anton Walker, Kevin Love, Al Harrington,
Walker,
Antoine Jameson.
Nah, I'm still not. They put Matt Barnes.
Matt Bonner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Matt Bonner.
Okay, the Spurs. Okay.
You know what? I got one for you.
Give me one.
Robert Horry.
He ain't even on this list.
They probably got him at the 3. They got him listed at the 3.
Enough. Nah, hell no. He too tall for a 3 though.
Ryan
I bet they got him listed as a 3. I bet they got Robert Horry listed as
Robert Horry ain't missed and he won chips.
Yeah, but those were out the coach.
One more than Jordan.
I ain't gonna cap. Those were off the coattails of Shaq and Kobe. I ain't gonna cap.
But they won off his. They won off his shooting.
Yeah, but his shot was clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that clutch shot. That might be. Yeah. But
Hell, Fisher had a clutch shot, but he ain't shit.
But the next question is, then are you taking Robert Horry over Dirk Nowitzki?
Hell no.
I would.
Oh fuck! I gotta go.
I don't know if I would.
I would. I'm a Dirk hater, just for the whatever.
Oh, he's a Miami fan.
But yeah, I would see.
Yeah.
Until I saw what he did. Until I saw what he did in San Antonio. San Antonio changed my mind about Robert Horry. That's what I would say.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
That's fair, but I still don't think that he had the same.
He defended better.
But because he didn't have the same workload as he did in LA.
But he defended better.
In the Spurs, I imagine that they were set up where everybody had their role. In LA, when he played, Shaq and Kobe got to do what Shaq and Kobe did. You just got to fit your way inside Kuzma. That. That's Kuzma. A lot unstructured. It's like, where am I going? So I'm sure he knew he was more comfortable in San Antonio than he was in LA.
He had to play D in San Antonio. With Steven Jackson and the boys, you had to play D. You weren't getting on the floor. Fuck your jump shot.
Right.
That's why I respected Robert Horry.
Nah, I still think I'm going Dirk, though. I think I'm going Dirk.
Dirk leads the points in power football. Yeah.
I mean, Steph, I probably wouldn't pick that same lineup, but
this is where I wish Tim Duncan would have shot more from three.
But still hit him. Yeah,
I wish Tim Duncan shot more from three.
I think
because he would be hands down.
I agree with that. I think Evan Mobley's going to end up being that. Like where he'll only shoot a three if you catch him with his feet behind. Like it's almost like he chooses to get inside of there before, and his three's nice. He just won't shoot it.
Well, let me ask Mal. You consider AD a 4 or a 5?
I mean, I really look at him as a 4. I really hate the fact that he plays the 5.
Yeah, I do look at him as a 4 myself.
if he trends like he's trending, he could rewrite his career and he could be that all-time 4.
He's too heavy right now, though, to be a 4-4. Especially when they put in like Sadiq Bey, like I said at the 4. Blow by every trip. That's a blow by every trip. He's too big right now to be able to keep up with these young cats at 4, so he gotta be 5-ish. But that's usually what happens when you get older in your career. You transition to a larger role.
Right.
You can't bring the ball up, but you still got a shot. Monte Ellis, who's the other one that popped into mind very quickly? I can't think. But we still need you on the court. You're the 2 now. We got a guy to bring the ball up. I can't think of the guy who
LeBron got pushed into the 4 spot a lot. Trending from the Heat to going back to the Cavs with Love being out a lot. I don't see how you leave him out. He can easily play the 4. He 3-4.
But at the same time,
when you're talking all time,
I agree with that.
I hate that Dirk. It's too many all-time greats, man. I hate that Dirk.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind it. There's a lot of guys
who got flushed into the big role where, he shouldn't have won that fucking championship he won against us, motherfucker. That was LeBron's fault. But that's another story for another day.
I'm still trying to think who would mine be. Who would mine be? And I know it's basketball, so... Well, not necessarily basketball, but I guess I could. My hit the showers goes to Dana White.
Fight fixing?
Nah, he just ain't right. He ain't doing what he ain't doing what he can do for them boys, man. Them boys is putting their life on the line for our entertainment and for your pocketbook. And it's like you could pay them more and you could provide insurance and all that. Like, I don't understand why the game had, like, the rules changed from being less barbarian, but the management behind it doesn't. That's weird.
All about greed.
I mean, period. But you made your money back. You know what I mean? Whatever you paid to buy the UFC, you made your money back, then some. It's about time to start spreading it to these people that are putting their lives on the line for our entertainment. So Dana White, hit the motherfucking showers. Does anybody have anything to take us out?
Bulls are smashing the Mavericks right now, 50-35 with 9:56 left in the second quarter. 51-35.
Is Zoe Triple B's back?
Lonzo, let me see.
No, I don't think so.
I didn't either.
I don't think so.
Caruso back though.
Yeah, Caruso is.
Yeah, Caruso back.
They're smashing them.
What they were saying, trying to make up a story about Kerr tampering with Caruso because he hugged him at the end of one of the games.
No, I didn't hear nothing about that.
Yeah.
No Triple B's Lonzo Ball playing.
Okay, well, hurry back, my nigga. Your little brother tearing it up, so you better hurry up and catch up. But we out of here. For all my showerheads, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell them to troll. We'll be back. Shut the fuck up. We'll be back Wednesday with the NFL talk.
The Raiders are still losers, so that's nothing new.
Man, it's red shirt ass. Shut the fuck up.
No red shirt in the boot camp, baby. 15 minutes. Y'all better stand at attention.
Bye.